Good morning. I'm John Ellsworth with Success Strategies. I'm the founder of Success Strategies Incorporated and the creator of the Success Strategies Advantage. And today I want to talk to you about a little bit different type of topic. I've entitled this, Where Do We Go From Here? We've all faced some difficult cash flows in this industry the last 4 years, and I think for the most part banks understand this, but to be honest with you, they're having their share of challenges as well. How do they get loans approved, things like that. But I'm not concerned so much about that as I have a greater concern for our industry, and that is paralysis, sometimes known as paralysis by analysis. But most importantly, I think it's the inability to make decisions, to come to conclusions. We've never had perfect information, but I so often hear people saying, I don't have enough information, I don't have perfect information. We never did have perfect information. We never had that before. But this is being driven by a greater concern. And I think that's the concern of uncertainty. We have so many things that are changing so fast. And unfortunately, the speed of change is rapidly picking up. So we can't change that. And so my advice to you is that we find ways to think through those changes, that rapid rate of change that we're being faced with. And now, what I'm going to share with you now is a concept introduced to me by my business coach in Chicago with the strategic coach, Dan Sullivan. This is really his concept, but I want to make an application for it in the work that we're talking about. And what I want you to do is take a sheet of paper, and I want you to split it into 4 quadrants. In the top left quadrant, I want you to write the word dangers, things that could cause potential losses. These dangers might include low milk prices, not having enough feed for your cows. I hear about that occasionally. Reproductive problems in your herd, which, as you know, then impacts your milk flow and your cash flow and so on and so on. But dangers in the top left quadrant. The top right quadrant, I want you to write the word obstacles. These are things that you might just be stuck on. Like, I don't know what to do with this to make it better. Okay? So here's the thing. A couple examples might be your diminished or greatly decreased cash flow results the last few years. Another one might be you're stuck on just because you haven't had time to do any planning. So you have a lack of planning. Now, take the bottom left quadrant of that square that you've created on one sheet of paper and write the word weaknesses. These are basically things that you're lacking, things that you have, an area that you have a lack in. Here's a couple examples. I'd like to expand my operation, but I need financing. That would be something you're lacking right now. Worse than that, I have a feedline whose balance is far greater than the inventory I have on hand. You would be lacking feed to substantiate or facilitate keeping that feed line at the level it's at. Then in the bottom right hand corner, I want you to write the word setbacks. Setbacks are things that you've actually lost. Things you've lost, say for example, during the last 4 years of downturn in the dairy industry. Some examples might be profitability. A lot of people have lost that, of course. Your lender relationship. Maybe you had to leave your bank because you were not up to their quote-unquote standards of lending. That happens in these downturns. You may have lost some vendors, people that you've maybe done business with for a long time, but who just couldn't carry you anymore because of the negative cash flows that you've been faced with. And then I think most importantly, after you've done this quadrant of dangers in the top left, top right, obstacles, weaknesses in the bottom left, and setbacks in the bottom right, I want you to ask yourself, what can I do about these? But before you even do that, I want you to think which of these in each of the 4 quadrants is most significant to you in your operation. Draw a circle around those 4 items, one in each quadrant, and ask yourself, what can I do about these items? And there's always something you can do. But I think sometimes we are so overwhelmed with so many challenges, whether it's the dangers, obstacles, weaknesses we're facing, or the setbacks we've already had. Maybe we've lost part of our herd. It could be any number of things. that we have so many things going through our mind at one time that we paralyze our thinking. So, as you might have figured out already, the point of doing this process, this whole task that Dan Sullivan was so kind to share with us, is that I think it helps to unparalyze or free your thinking. So you're only you're only focusing on 4 items at the same time instead of 16 items, for example, at the same time. And then the result of this is that it will allow you to, what you can do is you can identify the 4 specific problems, and as a result, it frees up your thinking to start identifying potential solutions for them. And sometimes you might be surprised that one solution can be the solution to 2 or 3 of those same problems. As Viktor Frankl said in his books, after being held as he was a survivor of Auschwitz, one of the vilest concentration camps in Europe during World War II. He said that his survival depends upon the realization that his old life was over. His new life would be vastly different if and when he survived the concentration camp at Auschwitz. And I think the same applies to us in the dairy industry. We need some new thinking. Is this bad? No, I don't think so. We just need to decide to move forward. And during the past several months, I've been talking about some group sessions that we are having and starting in April. The signups are going on right now, and the deadline's approaching for the first one. But the last several months I've talked about Success Strategies mastermind groups. I won't spend a lot of time telling you about those, except to go to success-strategies.com and look on our homepage, and you'll find a place to sign up for those. Excuse me. We will be talking about topics just like what we did today with the quadrants. Again, I'm John Ellsworth with Success Strategies, the founder of Success Strategies Incorporated and the creator of the Success Strategies Advantage, and I wish you the very best of success. Thank you very much.